sugar, honeysuckle lamb, a great big expression.
4 years had passed since Lil Big Homie, Monster, and Dulo were put in jail for their failed attempted robbery. Although the Hustler Nation missed their Lil Big Homie, they had to do what any hustler would do: keep it pushing. Luckily for them and their weed smoking habits, a lot of things had changed in 4 years. There was now medical marijuana dispensaries that allowed someone to walk right in and purchase some weed. The only catch was that you had to obtain a medical marijuana card. That was actually the easy part. A particular person could walk into a doctor's office and complain of muscle pain, insomnia, lack of appetite, etc., and be prescribed marijuana on the spot. It was a dream come true for the remaining Hustler Nation members. Currently, Money Green, Swift, Maniac, and Elder Hustler were sitting in the living room planning a massive marijuana legalization event with the local dispensary owner, Luigi. Luigi was a down-ass Jamaican man the Hustler Nation guys met through purchasing and smoking weed around the way. As an ex-gangster who still had ties in Jamaica, Luigi was no joke. Although he was very down to earth, at the same time, nobody messed with him or gave him problems. He was the current owner of the Candy Shop dispensary a couple blocks away. His mean and verbally abusive wife, Miss Mustafa, was under the impression that Luigi ran a lucrative taxi cab service. If his wife ever found out what he really did, she would probably become physically abusive as well. But Luigi took this chance since the money was good. Luigi had agreed to help with and sponsor the Smoke Fest event. He liked the group and he knew that it would help drive business. There were posters and flyers spread all over the coffee table and room with the title Smoke Fest, Smoke Till You Drop. Smoke Fest was gonna be big. Everyone involved had that feeling. We gotta make this pop. We're about to get papered up, Swift let out excitedly. Yeah, but how are we gonna do that? Elder Hustler asked. By word of mouth, dude. We gonna hit the streets with this mixtape with us and the other artists that are gonna be in the event to get everyone hyped up. We gonna make some paper and get this shit cracking. Swift was still pumped up. The house phone began to ring, briefly interrupting the conversation. Elder Hustler walks over into the kitchen and picks up the receiver. On the line is an operator asking if the receiver would like to accept charges from a collect call. Once the call goes through, Elder Hustler responds, "Gangsters Unlimited, here gangster speaking. How may I help you?" Swift murmurs something about fools jacking his line. A familiar voice on the other end says,
"It's me, dawg. I'm getting out. I'm coming home."
He turns to the others in the living room and explains, "Hey y'all, somebody is playing on the phone. It's some nigga claiming to be Lil Big Homie talking about he coming home." He returns the receiver to his ear. The person on the other line had heard the whole thing and insisted,
"It's me, dawg, for real. I'm coming home. I'm being released early for good behavior. I'm a changed man. I'm giving my life to God and everything."
At this, Elder Hustler can't contain his laughter and begins laughing hysterically, not even bothering to move the phone away from his mouth this time. "Yeah, okay. If you're a changed man, then I'm living in Hugh Hefner's mansion with all the Playboy bunnies." Swift gets up and walks over to see what is so funny to Elder Hustler, who responds, "He talking about he a changed man. He gave his life to God." He hands the phone over to Swift. "What's good with you, bro? What's this about you coming home and being a changed man? I hope not too much a changed man. When you coming home anyways? I sure could use you on the stage with me. You know, like the old days. Getting blowed, sipping on a little something, hollering at some brick."
Slow down, homie. I changed my ways of thinking, bro. I am a changed man, and I plan on changing all my ways once I get home. I want that good life, and I sure ain't trying to come back to this motherfucker. It ain't been an easy ride.
Lil Big Homie responds with a great deal of sincerity in his voice. "I feel you, bro. We talk more once you get home. Are Monster and Dulo getting out too?" Swift asks.
"Yeah, they getting released too. Prison sure has changed them niggas. They a little funny now."
Lil Big Homie answers. "Like that?
Anyways, you think you can scoop me up from the Greyhound station around 4 tomorrow?"
I got you. I'll be there."
"Hey, Swift, please don't tell Queen I'm coming home. I want to surprise her, homie."
"And you done got soft too? Bye, nigga. I'll see you tomorrow at 4. Meanwhile, Jasmine, Money Green's girlfriend, had let herself into the house to grab some money from Money Green's room that he had set aside for her. On her way to the back of the room, she had overheard Swift talking to Lil Big Homie. She quickly wondered if he had called Queen to let her know he was coming home, or if he was like every other nigga only worried about his homies. The conversation in the living room turns from Smoke Fest to the new and changed Lil Big Homie. When he had first gone to jail, rumors circulated that he had spent a large amount of time in the hole for fighting. It was common knowledge that Preacher Man was visiting Lil Big Homie after hearing about his behavior and has been showing him the way. From that point on, Lil Big Homie had been a model inmate, so much so that he was being released early for good behavior. Now Jasmine, who has just been hanging out in Money Green's room this whole time, begins to think of a way to leave the house without the other guys knowing. Finally, she decides to creep out while they all caught up in a deep conversation. The guys are talking about females and weed, their favorite topics, as Jasmine slips right past them through the door. She steps outside and laughs to herself thinking, these fools are so dumb, I just slid past their faces without them even seeing me. Unfortunately for her, Funk, who had decided to make his way over to the Hustler Nation house just to see what was up, caught a glimpse of her getting in her car. After thinking about whether or not to call her best friend Queen and tell her that Lil Big Homie would be home from jail at 4 at the Greyhound bus station, Jasmine finally decided that she should just tell her bestie. In the morning, she called Q's Beauty and Barber Salon, and Shantae, the shapely black woman who works there, answers the phone. Hi. Thank you for calling Queen Salon. We can make you look good no matter how ugly you are. And some of you is ugly. We carry stilettos and cell phones in the back. How may I help you? Where's Queen? Jasmine asked impatiently. Jasmine, girl, why you ain't here? Miss Jones is here and she done already broke 2 of my pressing combs with her perm. She can't understand why the back of her head looks like a yard with no grass. Everyone knows she's bald-headed and I'm tired of trying to glue tracks to her forehead. Then Winter called talking about how she had to put her car in the shop and needs a ride. Girl, hurry up and get here, please. Shantae had already had a rough morning. Never mind all that. We have an NGN alert. Jasmine was on a mission. A what? Shantae asked, sounding confused. A no good nigga alert, Jasmine explained. Shantae gets the hint and hurries around the shop to find Queen. Queen is busy doing the customers here when Shantae approaches her and tells her there's an urgent call from Jasmine that she should answer, like ASAP. Queen hurries over to the phone and says, talk to me. Girl, guess what I heard yesterday over at the Hustle Nation house? Check this out. Your man is on his way home. Swift and some of his other homies is going to pick him up after class. He's supposed to be getting in around 4, said Jasmine, blowing up the neighborhood. Queen begins pacing and quickly forgets about her customer who has a live perm in her head and she's in need of being washed out. After a few times up and down the walkway in the salon, Queen responds to Jasmine's information with, that artificial motherfucker. That fool didn't even mention the fact that he was coming home to his girl. Counterfeit ass nigga. She was furious. I know what you mean, girl. That's why I called you as soon as I heard the news. Don't trip, girl. You know the Diva Squad got your back. No matter what you decide to do. Jasmine already knew her friend was gonna continue getting fired up. I ain't even worried, but he needs to be. He gonna get his. I see you when I get over there. I got some business to take care of. Do you think you can stop by the auto shop and pick Winter up? Yeah, girl. And Queen, don't do nothing dumb. No nigga is worth, Jasmine added, knowing how Queen get. Queen slammed the phone down at her workstation, sending combs, clips, scissors, all kind of shit flying in every direction. The other customers wait and look at her suspiciously. Despite all eyes being on her, Queen is in her zone. After grabbing her keys and purse, she turns to Shantae and hands her an envelope she pulls out of her purse. Shantae examines the envelope and finds it to be full of cash. Queen offers no explanation until she arrives at the door to leave. She briefly turns to Shantae and gives the order. Please handle my clients today. Jasmine is on her way with Winter. Just hold tight to that envelope. There's enough money in there for you to get a bail bondsman my bail. I might not be back. I might just catch a case. Following her order, Shantae tucks the envelope into her work apron as Queen walks out of the salon. Once outside, Queen takes a deep breath and heads over to her Tahoe and gets in. Before she takes off, she says to herself, I do everything for this man, except and collect calls from the jailhouse, putting money on his books, packages every 3 months, even send his ass some naked pictures, and he can't even tell me when he coming home. He want his homeboys to pick him up. Let his homeboys give him some pussy when he get off the bus stand. Oh, hell no. I'ma fuck him up. She puts the keys in the ignition and starts the car. To her disappointment, the last thing that she was listening to on her way to work was Lil Big Homie, Swift, and El the Hustler's mixtape. It was all bad. It was on a song with Lil Big Homie's verse on it that she pulled from in front of her salon. She thinks to herself, punk ass studio gangs. Queen takes off down the street, driving erratic, but not changing the song. Back at the Hustler Nation house, El the Hustler and Swift sit waiting for Puff Puff to roll through and take them all to school. They had just rolled up and were passing around a freshly lit blunt while sipping on some real coffee from the local coffee shop. Despite their surroundings, they felt like students discussing a philosophy prompt as they talked excitedly about Smokefest. After a while of talking, Swift spoke. Man, Puff Puff is slower than the people that ride the short yellow bus, and he's always fucking the niggas high up. You right about that one? Hey. Can you believe that just in a few hours, we gonna be at the Greyhound station picking up the homie? And I can't believe he don't want in on the Smokefest. El the Hustler had reached his philosophical point. You see, my friend, that is why the 3 of us are gonna pick him up. Tell him about the event, get him hyped up, and put a few dollars in his pocket, then he'd be down. Just watch the master and learn. Swift was confident in his plan. Yeah, the master of bullshit. They share a laugh at Elder Hustler's comeback. Hey, who you know they got access to a whole lot of bad breezes we can get to help flood this place with flyers while we hit them up with the CDs. Capone, brother. Big pimpin'. His house is a hoe central. I'm sure he got some bitches that will be down. Elder Hustler answered with no hesitation. Puff Puff finally arrives to the Hustler Nation house, late but ready to go. As usual, he comes bearing no blunt, but asking where's one to smoke. Swift and Elder Hustler hurry him along into the car to avoid being later, and they agreed to roll one up on the way. This satisfies Puff Puff, who sits in the back seat of Swift's Tahoe in anticipation of rolling a blunt, and of course, being the first to light it, and most likely the last to smoke it.